the second half. Nick Keller is going to kick off and get us started. Toe meets leather, we're underway here from the Ville. Keller's kick will sail out the back of the end zone. We'll get a chance to see this offense here for Murray State. It's a team that put up a big-time number last week against the Presbyterian team. That game was actually close in the second quarter, then they blew it open in the second half.
Yeah, give Presbyterian credit. You know, they held it to 7-10, but then Murray State started getting going. And DJ Williams, their quarterback, who missed all of last season with an injury. He got injured in the first game that year. He's back. They were relying on him. He did a great job of moving his team down the field, but this is going to be a team that relies on the run game. They got some big, nasty offensive linemen up front. It's going to be a challenge for the front of Louisville.
DJ Williams was the newcomer of the year 2 years ago. You mentioned the ACL in the first game last year. Still has a knee brace on, but he feels close to 100%, running right up the gut with Kewan Morgan. And he picks up a good 5 yards on first down.
5 yards on first down. That's exactly how Dean Hood, head coach for Murray State, drew this one up to start the game. You get 5 yards on first down, get this crowd quiet a little bit, and this is what Louisville struggled with last week versus Georgia Tech. It was the inside run, the zone run early in the game.
Second down and 5. Same exact play. Morgan battering in the middle of that line. Give him 3 before TJ Quinn makes the tackle. And a third down on this first possession of the day for Murray State.
And this is when the crowd becomes a factor. The stadium's filling up. Got the blackout. Fans wearing their best black t-shirts, and they can make a difference on third down here. 3rd and 2.
Williams to throw. Has time and has a receiver too. Right at the marker. May have been dropped just shy. That was Jacob Bell on the receiving end. Looks like he's going to be just a few inches shy of that yard to gain marker, which would be the 35.
Great job by number 10, Benjamin Perry, playing in that safety position. They call it a star position, kind of a transition between linebacker and safety. Good tackle. He missed all of last game with a first quarter targeting call. Good to see him back. And on 4th down and less than 1, Murray State decides to punt.
One of the best mullets in all of college football, and that's saying something these days. Orion Phillips, the Aussie's going to kick it off. Quincy Riley lets this one bounce. Picks it up on about 2 hops and just gets a couple of yards on the sideline before being run out of bounds. Now we'll get a look at Jack Plummer.
Football. It's one that's easy for receivers to catch and has good touch on the passes, especially deep over the middle.
He's going to throw on first down. Out to Thrash, who's in a lot of trouble behind the line of scrimmage, and he's going to lose a yard. Flag on the play on the far side as Nick Walker came in from his inside linebacker spot to make the tackle.
Illegal shift. Offense. That penalty is declined. Second down.
Marcus Woods, our referee for this ACC crew, makes the call. Illegal shift against Louisville. They'll decline it. Second down and 11. Now Coleman, receiver, started in the backfield in motion. The give is to Jordan. He picks up nothing. Cody Golding, who transferred to Murray State from Kentucky, makes the stop.
Yeah, good job reading the zone, fitting his gap, making a sure tackle. And we talked about that first down play for Murray State. This is not how Jeff Brom drew up this first drive, and this is a Jeff Brom offense. They love up tempo. They get to the line quick. They go fast. They can score very quickly. They do need to pick up first downs, which they could not do at all for Georgia Tech.
Murray State brings 5, going deep. As a receiver, one-handed catch inside of Murray State territory. That's Kevin Coleman, the Jackson State transfer.
Wow. That's a way to pick up a third down. Kevin Coleman, phenomenal catch. And this is what I'm talking about with the touch. Look how Jack Plummer lays this ball in there. You know, any farther out or even any harder, that's not going to be catchable. Great throw by Jack Plummer on third down. Louisville did not convert a third down until 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter against Georgia Tech last week.
Another flag early.
Substitution infraction. Offense. Broke the huddle with more than 11 players. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So these are 2 mistakes on this opening drive that Coach Brom can't be too happy with. He's not, as you can see.
Yep. If you can read lips, you know what he's talking about. I mean, these are things that cannot happen anytime, but especially, he's got pride too. He's coming back to his alma mater. He's coaching. He wants to show that he can do things, the right way. Plenty of time left. It doesn't mean he isn't, but you do want to clean up those penalties.
5 yards back, 1st and 15. Thrash. Voids a tackle. Gets the penalty yardage and then some back. Chris Hill ran him out of bounds. That was Jimmy Callaway. Check that, not Thrash on the far side. Callaway is a guy who spent a lot of time at Tennessee. 3 years, as a matter of fact, even though school-wise he's only a redshirt sophomore in terms of eligibility. Transfers in here, and he's part of that big receiving core that a lot of guys transferred in. It's totally revamped from last year.
Oh, yeah. It's completely different receiving core. You got Chris Bell back, Mari Huggins-Bruce, but they added a lot in the portal.
All kinds of time, and a receiver wide open down the middle of the field. He found his running back, Jawhar Jordan. Down to the 10. They'll mark him down at the 11. It'll be 1st and 10 from there, and Louisville wants to move quickly. He was wide open, Mark.
Yeah, he ran a rail route. Called rail route when the running back releases out of the backfield and goes straight up the middle of the field. Linebacker Nick Walker couldn't find his man. Great throw. Good completion.
Watch the big receiver on the top of your screen here in the red zone. That's Chris Bell, 6'2", 225. Instead, they'll give it to Thrash. He cuts inside, and he'll score easily.
And that's how fast these Jeff Brom offenses can score. You look like you're stuck behind the chains on 3rd and long, and then one completion, and then here you go. You're going to see tons of these trickeration plays, whether it's reverses or pitch back passes or wide receiver passes. Jeff Brom loves to wrinkle these things, and you saw it early in the game, getting the wide receivers involved in the run game.
Brock Travelstead splits the uprights. The Cardinals, on their first offensive possession of the day, march down the field. A couple of big passes over the middle, and then Thrash. He can catch touchdowns. He can run them in as well.
On refrigerator only.
All the transfers in this wide receiver room throughout the night. Nick Keller will kick off. And Qdarius Jennings is back for Murray State. He'll corral it at his 2. Looking for a place to run and finds none. Hits a wall and then gets dropped at the 13.
Yeah, let's take a look at that big pass to the running back, Jawhar Jordan. Really good play design. They take the tight end and they clear out the front side linebacker and then bring the running back right in behind him. Against this cover 3 defense, that takes away that backside hook defender who's used to playing that deep route, that deep over that by the tight end, and then snuck the ball back in behind to the running back, and then followed it up with another play that's just really well designed, getting the defense to flow east and west, hit him right up the gut with Thrash for a touchdown.
Second possession for Murray State, deep in their own territory. Williams nowhere to go. He's going to be dropped for a loss. Ashton Gelati, part of this defensive front, Mark. Full of potential, full of guys that have gotten it done in the past. Gelati, Des Tell, Roman Courier, the transfer Stephen Herron.
Yeah, see Gelati, just unblocked and missed some miscommunication on Murray State, trying to hold Gelati back with some of the motion, but good job of keeping with his keys. He's probably the best one on that front line. He's got a lot of potential as a true junior. He can be in the backfield all day.
At 7 TFLs last year. Straight up the middle goes Morgan, and he'll bring up 3rd down and long.
And this is where guys like Ashton Gelati and Desmond Tell and Raymond Puryear, they can really get off the ball and get going. The 3rd down and long in this 4-down front, which is new to Louisville. They have been playing that 3-4 defense in the past, but look for them to rush those front 4 and drop back in coverage and zone coverage with the rest.
They bring forward. Williams is in trouble. Still on his feet to the 10. Give him maybe a yard after the scramble. Purrier on the tackle. And they'll force a 3 and out.
Good job of recognizing the attempted wide receiver screen by the defensive line. And then you see the team speed. Purrier, we just mentioned his name, 6'3", 270-pound junior from Louisville. He's a guy, he's a former walk-on, and has really established himself as a leader on this defensive front.
Flag down.
False start. Offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
It's good looking Coach Dean Hood. His 4th season at the helm at Murray State. Telling us before the game how they went COVID in the year after COVID without having a strength and conditioning coach. This last year was the first year they've had a full year with a strength and conditioning coach. 42-yard kick off the toe of Orion Phillips. No things up. And Mark, I guess you see that a lot in the first game of the year. Even if it's not a first-time coach, a first-year coach, teams make their greatest improvement between week 1 and week 2 usually, don't they?
They do, and especially in this modern college football era where there's so many transfers. I mean, you're starting off a spring and you don't know if you're going to get more guys to the team added in the summer, and then you start the fall camp and you got new guys. So, a guy who's coming into a program that he knows so well, he still has to get to know his roster really well, and he still has to get to know what they're good at. And I think that first game, especially that first half, that was that for Jeff Brom. And how fortunate are they that they got to experience some of that adversity in the first game and then go into halftime and fix it. I mean, that is kind of a blessing in disguise, and they were able to fix it and figure out a little more who they are.
Jordan picked up 3 yards on first down. Now Plummer to throw. Maybe 2 yards as Kevin Coleman makes the catch. Sherry's got more on Brom.
Well, guys, it's 29 years later. He's back leading the Louisville football team. He's back in 1993. He was the quarterback of the Cardinals. And pregame coach told me he still has a little bit of nerve being back, but still, it is a homecoming. And a true example of that is the fact I asked him how many people are asking for tickets. He said really not many because the family and friends already have season tickets. Guys, he even said he still has his house here in Louisville.
Right, and he's got 2 family members on his staff, including Brian Brom, his offensive coordinator. 3rd down, Plummer flushed out of the pocket. And sacked as he gets rid of the football. Are they going to rule that he was down in the sack? Our referee is looking at the head linesman to get the determination as to where to mark the ball. Cody Goatley again on the pressure. Now they're going to throw a flag. This is going to be an intentional grounding. He didn't get the ball to the line of scrimmage.
Number 13. Lost it down at the small 5. 4th down.
I think he was down. I think that right knee was down anyway.
I think so too.
It'll be a spot foul and a loss of down, so the end result is the same.
If you're a young linebacker out there and you watch Cody Goatley rush the passer there and not leave his feet, he didn't jump, he just stuck that hand up. That was a good play by that young man who was an OVC all-newcomer team last year as a freshman.
Brock Travelstead to punt. That's a good kick. Michael Fox will just let that one bounce into the end zone. Murray State with the ball when we come back. Louisville up on top, 7-0. Prize, he was able to do that with that cloud cover tonight, but got it done. Last time Louisville lost to an FCS team was in 1987.
I was 1 month old, Chris.
I was a little bit older than that. Last time Murray State beat an FBS team was this Louisville team right here. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later on in the broadcast because it was a monumental win for the then coach at Murray State, somebody you are all very familiar with. Difficult task tonight, though, for the Racers. They are 1-0 on the year. They hammered Presbyterian last weekend, but obviously a big-time step up in competition today. And Coach Hood was talking about how many players, 40-some-odd players on his team have never even played in a college football game until last week, and certainly have never been in this type of an environment. Cortez Jones on the carry for the Racers. 3rd down and 5. It's a good look at Coach Hood. Former assistant with Jim Grove at Wake Forest, Eastern Kentucky as well. So Cortez Jones in the backfield with Williams. You'll see their backup quarterback Eric Phoenix throughout the night too. Williams here on 3rd down. Cardinals bring just 3, so he's got plenty of time. He'll look to run for it. No, now he dumps it off and has a receiver over the middle. That's a 1st down and a lot more. Near midfield goes Cortez Jones. 23 yards on the play.
Nice play by Cortez Jones. Finding an open window. This is a great view of what DJ's seeing. And you see Cortez Jones just fall in right behind the over-aggressive linebacker. Anytime a quarterback gets out and scrambles, the defense is taught to plaster. You plaster onto your wide receiver so they can't get open like that. Really good job and conversion on 3rd down for Murray State.
Williams gives to Jones. Tried to elude the tackle and couldn't do it from Jalen Alderman. Middle linebacker came knifing through and made a nice stop, gain of just 2.
Ron English, the defensive coordinator at Louisville, he talked all week about getting lined up, about getting the defensive players lined up where they're supposed to be before the snap. It was an issue against Georgia Tech, who started going fast on them, caught Louisville defensively off guard at times. I've seen a good job by this defense getting in position and getting lined up well. As you see here, that the line of scrimmage bringing pressure.
Williams, he'll run it himself up the middle. Picks up 3. What do you got, Sherry?
Well, guys, again, talking about getting in line with the signal calling, Coach Inglis was saying it's embarrassing if your guys can't get lined up. We talked about it. There's 3 parts, right? The guy calling the play, then the person signaling them, and then the urgency of the players. So this week in practice, they did extra periods simply just lining up. They always do up-tempo periods, but they took an extra 5-minute period just to address the logistics of getting the call out quick enough and everybody being on the same page.
It's worked out pretty well so far today, so they may have gotten that fixed up. 3rd down. Racers convert on their last 3rd down. Won't do it this time, though. Jarvis Brownlee knocking it away, presumably forcing a punt.
Yeah, he was a big get for Jeff Brom. Transfer from Florida State, played a lot of good football at Florida State. And he's become a leader in this defensive backfield room. In fact, he's become so much of a leader. There are a few times that he felt like there could be an interceptions last week that the Louisville should have come away with, and he went to coach and said, hey, you need to run us. You need to run us because we didn't catch those interceptions and make a big play. So he's leading that team, and we'll see if that results in any more interceptions or turnovers for us by this Louisville team.
Yeah, you're obviously a leader if on a hot day in practice he says we're running today, because as a team we missed 3 interceptions last week, and everyone says, well, Brownlee says we got to do it, we got to do it.
I could totally see sitting in that meeting room, right, and him raising his hand and be like, hey, coach, I think we should probably run because we dropped these interceptions, and everybody turning their heads and looking at him like, bro, you can't be running for that. But no, it's good leadership and stepping up when you need to.
Plummer to throw from his own 15. Over the middle, has a receiver. That's Thrash. He's hit before the ball gets there. No flag yet.
Interesting.
Jason Coley on the coverage. Crowd here thought Coley might have gotten there a bit early. I thought he did too.
Yeah, he got there very early. That should have been pass interference. It's the tackle.
First incompletion thrown by Plummer on the evening. 2nd down and 10. Easy pitch and catch here, hoping Thrash can do something after the catch, and he does. Stretches forward, and that's going to move the sticks.
Perfect ball placement by Jack Plummer. Saw the hitch route, threw it to the outside shoulder, which tells his receiver, Jamari Thrash, hey, I'm going to turn to the outside, allowed him to gain a few more yards and move away from the defender, and Jack Plummer, he's been around for a long time, right? He was at Purdue with the Brom brothers and then transferred from there to Cal, where he had a phenomenal year last year, and then reunited with Brian and Jeff Brom here at Louisville. And he has so much talent at that quarterback position. It's just how can he develop with these receivers in this new offense?
Guerendo to midfield. The transfer from Wisconsin, a little bit of a bigger back with a 25-yard run.
Good job blocking up front by the offensive line. See the pullers and just being able to seal the edge. Great job by Kevin Coleman, number 3, the wide receiver, getting up on the linebacker, Cody Goatley, springing free his running back.
Maurice Turner, by the way, is banged up today. If you're wondering, may not see much of him, so it'll be a lot of Jordan and Guerendo. That's Callaway. Pickup of just 3. Caldre Williford on the tackle.
And this is a pass-first style offense. They feel like they can pick up big chunks on first down, or you can get a gain of 4 or 3, which is basically the same as a successful run play on first down.
Fake to the back. Plummer has time, and he has Thrash downfield. Can't hook up, but a flag comes in at the 5. Kayvon Reed, the free safety on coverage. And he may have gotten there just a bit early.
Yep, got that left arm in there before the ball came down. It's a really good job by Thrash working back to the football. A little bit underthrown. Drawing the penalty.
Not the worst play by Reed, though, if he was beat, although the coverage wasn't terrible.
Just a little early.
Just a 15-yard penalty instead of all the way down to the 5. So Louisville will scrimmage just outside the 31st down. Hard running by Isaac Guerendo, 10 yards.
Phenomenal block up front. Yeah, this is a Louisville offensive front, and the guys who were here last year, Brian Hudson, Michael Gonzalez, Renato Brown, they're so used to that outside stretch play that Scott Satterfield was famous for. Now they're incorporating more of these gap schemes, and that was a great job by Michael Gonzalez pulling around and flattening the linebacker.
Fresh set of downs for the Cards. The pitch to Guerendo. He's able to get something out of what looked like nothing. They'll count it off at 3 yards. Chris Hill on the tackle. Clock winding down in this first quarter. And the buzzer sounds. Home. Plummer to throw. Just couldn't quite get it to Thrash. You can see that he really has a connection with number 1 in black, though.
Yeah, and those targets to Thrash, they're going to keep going up. And it's been good to see some of the other wide receivers step up, like Jimmy Galloway, Kevin Coleman. But make no bones about it, Jamari Thrash, he's the number 1 option on a lot of these plays. And you're right, this quarterback wide receiver combo, they have a connection. Man-to-man coverage, they might go back to him. 3rd down.
Plummer to the end zone, has a receiver, but it was defended, and again a flag comes out on Kayvon Reed.
Oh, I see that.
You're not sure about that one. He's not sure about that one.
He didn't get his head around, but the ball.
Pass interference, defense number 15. 15-yard penalty, first down.
I think they meant 13.
Yep. And let's see here, right? The ball hits him square in the back, doesn't get his head around, but does he get any sort of extension on the wide receiver? See, to me, the wide receiver, Huggins Bruce, he doesn't come back to the football. I mean, to me, that's a good football play. If Huggins Bruce had come back to the football, then possibly, but.
Call was made.
Yep.
1st and goal from the 1 by Rule. And they'll give it to Guerendo. And he gets stuffed. Helmets flying.
Nick Walker, number 33. Stout up there.
Cade Shepard lost his helmet on that transaction as well.
This was an impact.
Tenth play of the drive. And now Coach Hood comes running in to call timeout. Also didn't like what he saw, either that or he wanted to make sure he got Cade Shepard back in there.
Murray State, their second of the half.
Second timeout of the half for Murray State.
Yeah, this is a coach, right? You don't see too many times where head coaches are going to take a lot of timeouts when their defense is on the ball. However, Coach Hood, he's a defensive guy. He's been a defensive coordinator throughout his career, and he needs to make sure he's got his guys right. This is prototypical of a defensive-minded head coach. Let's get these guys right and do some timeouts when we need them here. That's a big play. Make no bones about it. You got to stop there on first down. If you can stop them here, now puts third down pressure on them. And we know Louisville, although they're 1 for 2 tonight on third down, they have not been successful.
Well, they're 1 for 11.
1 for 11
Georgia Tech game.
Last week.
Not good. Hey, Saturday on the ACC Network, it starts bright and early, 11 a.m. Vanderbilt at Wake Forest. That's a good one. Then Charleston Southern and Clemson. Tigers looking to bounce back. App State, North Carolina, 5:15. Then the nightcap, 8:30 Southern Miss at Florida State. ACC huddled throughout the day. Every game, not only on the ACC Network, but also on the ESPN app. Cards will try it again. Guerendo again in the backfield. They'll hand it to him again. And this time he leaps over and scores.
And that's what Guerendo can do. The power back, 6'1", 225-pound senior, transferred in from Wisconsin. They love him in these short yardage plays. They love his receiving skills out of the backfield. And right here, up and over. Another rushing touchdown for Louisville.
There you see Guerendo and Turner sharing a laugh. Maurice Turner dressed today, number 4, as you saw in black, but not sure we'll see him. He's a little bit banged up, nicked up. Travelston with the PAT. Guerendo with the score. We'll take another look at it. If at first you don't succeed, try again. A little power run with 23. 14-0 Cards. As you would expect, and as advertised coming into this year. You saw Jim Phillips there, our ACC commissioner. We got the chance to chat with him a little bit before the game. He's a busy man. We just show him in the commercial break texting somebody. I don't know who you think that is. Maybe somebody out west, somebody at Oregon State, Washington State maybe.
I was about to say, he's a guy who's always making moves. Big adjustments coming for the ACC next year. And we talked to him a little bit before the game. He was up here in the booth making sure we're doing all the right stuff. And he said, hey, man, we got to keep moving. Got to keep action. And that's what the ACC is doing.
I mean, if you're going to make it the All-Coast Conference, I would like to add Oregon State and Washington State.
Oh, yeah.
Just go ahead.
For sure.
That, of course, remains to be seen. The only thing we know for sure in college football is that it is always evolving. Williams to throw. Now he's going to run. Testing out that knee, and it looks pretty good as he goes for 5 yards. TJ Quinn on the stop.
Yeah, and Dean Hood talked about DJ Williams and, protecting him, right? Protecting that knee. It's still only his second game back from that injury. We might see Eric Phoenix as well in this game, a big righty, where DJ is a left-handed quarterback.
May see Jaden Stinson as well. He was the man who came in and replaced Williams last year when he was injured. Running Cortez Jones on the right side, 4 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd and short.
There's really been this running game for Murray State that's had some success. 3-4 yards a clip on that running game.
It's really just been that one pass to Cortez Jones.
Correct.
Where they picked up a 1st down on 3rd down. It's the only 3rd down they've converted. And they'll get another opportunity here. So Jones and Jadarius Jennings will be in the backfield. Williams looks to keep it himself, and he gets banged down, but I think he got just enough to move the sticks, and he did.
We mentioned Ron English and this new defense that Louisville has. They're a base 4-3 defense, but you're going to see a lot of multiple fronts. Last week in the second half of the Georgia Tech game, they went down to more of an odd front with the defensive lineman directly over the center. Just switches up the gaps, and he felt like his team played much better versus the run in that alignment. They went back to that on that last rush.
First down. That was a good-looking play, and the running back stayed on his feet. Darius Jennings broke a tackle for 6 yards.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of running backs from this Murray State team. Last week, they rotated 6 guys in at that running back position, and when you do that, you keep guys fresh. And you get those runs like that where you can make those extra yardage. Bring in Cortez Jones, who had that catch you mentioned.
Jones is a heavy hitter, too. 5'11", 233. Now Williams to throw. Tries to get it out to Jones. That would have been a tough catch. And even if he caught it, Quincy Riley probably would have dropped him right there. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4. Williams looks to the sideline, gets the call from Ben Hodges, the offensive coordinator, signals it in.
Louisville, who led the country in sacks last year.
A ridiculous 50 of them.
Yeah, only one on the evening as they look to show pressure with the linebackers walked up.
Yeah, they're bringing everybody, bringing the house, and Williams is on his horse, but he's got room to run. He picks up the first down and then wisely slides down at the 45. What happened on that play, Mark? Everybody came for Louisville, but Williams recognized he had a lot of green in front of him.
Yeah, he got the edge. You see the good pickup by Cortez Jones, the running back, cutting the blitzing corner. And, that's you're nervous about the knee there, right, at the end for DJ Williams. But DJ Williams, good job of recognizing the pressure and just getting outside. And that was a focus for Ron English and Mark Hagan, the co-defensive coordinators, was setting the edge of the defense. Not a good job there. Another edge issue.
Cortez, this time the speed of that Louisville defense, though, makes up for it, and they track him down for a slight loss.
Yeah, and good rallying to the football. Anytime you can get the running back either strung out wider, right? You want to either cut it back or bounce it deep and wide. And good pursuit by the defense, led by Benjamin Perry, who we mentioned was ejected for targeting in the first half last week. He's a guy who came in as a safety and gained some weight, playing that star position, kind of a dual threat guy in the defensive backfield linebacking core.
Flags down all over the place.
False start. Offense number 79. 5-yard penalties. 2nd down.
Desmond Kelly, guilty of the infraction. Racers will move back 5. 4 penalties already on the Racers.
That's tough. Those are things you can't have happen. Moving the ball down the field at a pretty good clip right now, getting into Louisville territory. Don't want to move backwards.
Now out of Louisville territory. 2nd down and about 16 from their own 49. Empty backfield here for Williams.
Ooh, Louisville's playing man. Now they're dropping back into zone.
Williams hits Jacob Bell underneath. Gets about 5. Storm Duck on the tackle will bring up 3rd down and long.
Jacob Bell's a guy they're glad to have back. He was hurt last year. 3rd game of the season. They love his size, 6'3", 200-pound wide receiver. And 3rd down.
Dean Hood barking out some instructions, presumably to his special teams.
Yep.
Punt team in case they don't get this. Jennings in the backfield with Williams. Cardinals bring just 4. Williams can't find a receiver. Now he's flushed. He does find one, but unfortunately it's incomplete as Jennings wasn't able to bring it in. A couple of Houdini acts on that drive by Williams. Wasn't able to convert that one, and it brings up 4th and 10.
Yeah, and you see him still favoring that knee a little bit in some of those movements. He's wearing a brace on that injured knee. Good job by Louisville's defense staying with their assignments.
Good kick by Phillips. Coleman makes the fair catch. Inside is 10. Check that. That's Quincy.
Football team is not just the school. They feel like this entire city is their community, and they are so happy and blessed to be able to give back to the kids. So you guys are my Heartland heroes. Keep up the good work.
Great stuff. Jordan. Oh, he had a huge run last week. He's got one brewing here. 35-40 out near midfield before finally being run out of bounds at the 45. That's a 38-yard run for Jawhar Jordan.
I mean, Jawhar Jordan is just made of big plays. He had that big run last week, 74 yards, then that big reception earlier in this game, and here he goes again. A track star, a speedster, transferred in from Syracuse a few years back, and he has been a spark for this offense.
4th play of 25 or more yards on the day. They're trying for another one here. Downfield, it's intercepted. Zaytique McGee on the pick.
Zaytique McGee did a great job of getting under that football, and Jack Plummer, when we mentioned the touch he puts on passes, there was a little bit too much air on that football. It just floated up there for too long, and great job by Zaytique McGee, who was initially beat, to get back into position and make that interception for a turnover.
There you see Plummer's reaction and the reaction to Zaytique's teammates. Good ball skills by McGee to pick that one off, and we go the other way. That's what you need if you're trying to spring the upset.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a 14-point game, right? You get back in that running game, move the ball a little bit, make a big play, you're right back in it.
Williams is going to try to throw. He has time now. He's going to try and go downfield. Just misfiring with Golden Eke. The official was out there too, covering on the play.
Yeah, the back judge. Look at this. Look at this coverage by the back judge.
Back judge is trying to back up. Now he tries to go forward to get out of the play. He was in no man's land there.
Yeah.
Do I keep backpedaling? Do I go forward?
I feel like that's exactly what I'd do if I was in actual no man's land in a war. I'd just fall down.
Go back a couple steps, then duck under, and then finally just say,
please don't get me.
Every direction I go is going to be wrong, so I'll just drop. 2nd and 10. Morgan tries to cut it back, nowhere to go. Jalen Alderman on the tackle, 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So after the interception, the Louisville defense steps up and forces a 3rd and long, and Morgan is a little slow to get up.
Let's hope he's all right. Stable of running backs. Cortez Jones looks like he checked into the game. We've seen his receiving skills as well as his pass pro.
Jones in the game now, flanked to the right of Williams.
Yeah, we've seen the arm strength of DJ Williams on that last deep ball.
See if Louisville wants to bring pressure. They bring just 4. Throws it underneath. Going to be nowhere near the yard marker to gain as Ben Perry comes up to make the stop on Cole Rusk, the tight end. That's going to force a punt.
Yeah, you see frustration by DJ. He's done a really good job in this game avoiding some of the pressures and moving around in the pocket. That ball, the deep ball, had a chance.
That's Kevin Coleman deep for the Cardinals, standing by on his own 44. This is a good punt for Phillips. Driving Coleman all the way back to the 28. He'll get a chance to return it, though. Can't spin out of that tackle. Cardinals ball at the 31. 52-yard kick from Orion Phillips. Handful of yards on the return. Cardinals lead by 14. After the interception, after Plummer threw an interception on their last offensive possession. Check this out, Mark. 5 of 5. He started a house of fire, which obviously had to be great news for Coach Brom.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted. But then he slowed down a little bit here.
Yeah, and Murray State's had some good plays, and then just some misses as well. And that, I mean, that'll happen in football. It's how do you bounce back? How does he bounce back in this drive?
Loses the snap. Ball's on the ground, and Jawhar Jordan was able to fall on it. Loss of 3 on the play. That is probably not how he wanted him to bounce back after the interception. Don't know whose fault that is, whether it's the center or whether it's Plummer.
So is the quarterback's fault. That's what he'll tell you. But yeah, it does look like he came out a little too fast.
That ball just went sideways.
Yeah. And again, Brian Hudson and Jack Plummer, it's not like they've been snapping the ball to each other for years. They go back to the shotgun to make it a little easier.
Look at that, threading the window.
Bye-bye.
My goodness gracious. Thrash is gone.
The back judge almost got him again, but no, he's in for 6. 4 touchdowns in 2 weeks for Jamari Thrash. This dude's a playmaker.
How about that throw, too? Now that's the bounce back right there.
Yeah.
Tiny little window when he threaded the needle.
And when I watch Jack Plummer play football, it's kind of like when you watch a pro golfer, right? You see some of the quarterbacks out there who are trying to force things. When Jack Plummer throws a good ball, it just looks so smooth. Like that smooth swing of a pro golfer with little effort. That was that throw and a great run by Jamari Thrash.
Travels down to PAT 21-0.
And take a look. Just look. Watch how this ball fits in the window. Right in between the corner and the backer, and Jamari Thrash knows what to do from there. Back judge.
Back judge used to work on his situational awareness.
Poor guy, it's got to be hard back there. And throws like that, right? That's what Jeff Brom and Brian Brom see in Jack Plummer. And that's why they say, look, this is a guy you could see playing in the NFL. Because he can make those timing routes. He understands where to attack defenses in certain coverages. And that play, he knew, hey, I'm going to have a linebacker working out. Let me hit it right on that hash and hit my receiver. How about that speed from Jamari Thrash?
94 yards from scrimmage for Thrash. Touchdown receiving, touchdown rushing on the day.
Thrash is a guy at Georgia State. He ranks 5th in receiving yards all time, 8th in receptions, tied for 6th in touchdowns. First team all Sun Belt player last year. And look at this, a great angle. And you see that ease? It's just the ease of that arm motion, ease of that throw. Throws a really catchable ball.
Kick sailed out of bounds.
He's going to hear it in the meeting room for tripping in the end zone for sure.
As long as you trip in the end zone.
True, but you'll still get it. You can't escape something like that in the meeting room with your buddies.
He'll just get Brian Bennett, our stats guy. He'll get his grease board. He'll just show this to him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's like, by the way, check out.
I'm tripping in the end zone.
Yeah, check
That's
this
where
out.
I'm tripping.
Look, there's Deion Branch right there. He already started it.
Morgan looking to bounce it outside. Just loses his footing here. He'd had a big run. It goes for 6 anyway on first down. And that's been one of Murray State's issues is yards on first down. They've really been behind the chains offensively all night long. Coming into this drive, just 2.3 yards on average on first down. They get 6 there.
Interesting. And honestly, it's not the runs on first down. They're able to run the ball on first down. It's when they decide to throw the ball, then they get behind the sticks. And that, Louisville has command of this game. There's no question. But there is a concern on the run defense and setting edges. That was a run that should not have gotten to that many yards. Neither is that.
Right up the middle. Morgan again. He gets 3. Quinn on the tackle. By the way, Antonio Watts was injured on that last play for Louisville. He came out under his own power.
Yeah, and on third down and short, I'm not messing around. I'm running the ball again. They've already decided to keep the ball in DJ Williams' hands in this situation. He's an option on the ground. But Louisville, they got to be ready to bow up on that defensive front.
Clock ticking toward 5 minutes to go in this first half. Murray State trying to stay in it. They'll throw on 3rd and 1. Williams flushed out of the pocket. Now he goes downfield. Has a receiver in Bell, but they couldn't hook up and no flag. Jarvis Brownlee on the coverage. And now it looks like Murray State may be going for it here down 21
and this will
in
be
their
the
own
test.
territory.
How well can Louisville get lined up on the football? This is exactly what the coaches were talking about. Get lined up, get lined up, get lined up.
Snap. The carry. This is going to be close. Williams keeps it himself. He's got to get to the 45, and I think he got there. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Wow. And that's going to get Ron English fired up. I mean, that's what he's been talking about all week. Get back, get set up. Forget about that last play. And good job of Dean Hood and offensive coordinator Ben Hodges testing Louisville.
Give us to Galbraith. Kylan Galbraith had a touchdown last week in the Presbyterian game. On this carry, loses 2. Ramon Purrier on the tackle.
Looked like a little miscommunication. Murray State in the backfield. Dean Hood.
Talked to him before the game about a short week.
Yep. Lightning
curtailed one of the practices. I mean,
yeah, and he's like, we don't have an indoor facility. If it lightnings out,
yeah, we're done.
We're done. We go to the let's go to a basketball court and walk around. I mean, we did that when I was playing for the New York Giants when we would go up to Albany for training camp. You'd get a reprieve at times because if it did lightning, they didn't have an outdoor facility.
So that was it, huh?
So you put on your track shoes and go to the gym, try to get some work in.
Timeout. Murray State.
Third and final timeout for the Racers. We'll take a timeout with them. 21-0, Louisville on top. Murray State trying to change that on this drive. Full day on Saturday on the ACC network. It all gets started at 11 a.m. Vandy and Wake Forest. Charleston Southern at Clemson. See the Tigers bounce back. Got App State and North Carolina. You know,
that's a fun one.
App State wants nothing more than to be the North Carolina team coming off an impressive win. And then Southern Miss, speaking of impressive wins at Florida State. ACC huddle throughout today. You can check them out on the app as well. Coming out of the timeout, now Murray State exhausted of timeouts, and Williams looking to make something happen on 2nd and long. Into triple coverage. No chance as he was looking for Michael Fox. Perry among those in coverage.
And DJ Williams is trying to force some things in there. If I'm his coach, I'm telling him, hey, look, stop looking at the scoreboard. Let's settle down. Let's take what the defense is giving us a little bit. Now you get to 3rd down. You're going to have to force something, but
3rd down and long once again for the Racers. Cortez Jones in the backfield with Williams. Williams to throw. Cardinals stunned, forcing him out of the pocket. Now he's going to have to stop and fire downfield. He does have a receiver open, but they can't connect.
I mean, I'll tell you what an individual effort by DJ Williams. Really good job.
Charlton Herron, the tight end, was wide open.
Yeah, and it's recognition, right? Ashton Gelati looped inside. He knew he had an edge, and that throwback, oh, that could have been something.
Williams took a little bit of a shot there at the end of that play. Phillips with another good kick. 55 yards. He's been one of their best players, one of their best weapons tonight, forcing the Cardinals to go the length of the field. The score might be even worse than 21-0 if it wasn't for him. It's Williams on the phone with his offensive coordinator, Ben Hodges, and quarterback's coach. See the quarter by quarter.
Yeah, second quarter, right? Second quarter last week was almost the demise of this Louisville team. And second quarter this week, been a different story.
Plummer out to Callaway. Drags defenders for 8 yards. Callaway, the transfer from Tennessee. You've seen a lot of Thrash tonight. Georgia State transfer Coleman, Kevin Coleman. He came from Jackson State.
Yep.
Jaden Thompson, you won't see him. He's injured tonight. He transferred in from Cincinnati. Here's another big run. Can Jordan go the distance? He breaks a tackle, and he'll score.
I mean, you need a big chunk of yards? You better find where number 25 is and give him the football. And he has progressed as a running back, and no question about it. Last year, he'd get into games, and he ran that zone scheme where he just would touch the ball and fly downhill. This year, you can see how he's able to read the blocks, set up blocks, and really, once he's in the open field, fly.
Let's not forget, he had 4 of his last 5 games last year went for 100 yards.
Yes.
He was the MVP of the Wasabi Bowl in Fenway. You and I did that game, and he was fantastic. It looked like he was just coming into his own at the end of last year, and he's obviously carried that forward into 2023.
Yeah, he had 400-yard games in his career at Louisville, and they all came in the last 5 games of last year up until now. He's got another 100 yards, 4 attempts, 113 yards rushing. Didn't beat last week's long, though. This was only 72 yards.
70-plus yard plays on 2 of the last 4 plays for the Cardinals.
How about that? He's had 3 70-plus yard plays in the past 2 weeks. That's pretty good. That's explosive.
And he just missed 100 yards last week, 96 on the ground. He's having no problem reaching the century mark today.
Yeah, and the reason he's here, right? Sean Tucker emerges at Syracuse as their lead back. Jawhar Jordan understands, hey, this is what my role is going to be at Syracuse. After that 2020 season, decides to transfer over, and been a spark, and it's a spark that Louisville needed, right? They lost guys last year. Tyon Evans, he's no longer obviously on the team, and they needed a running back to step up. Jawhar Jordan has done that.
Cooley transferred to Georgia Tech, so we saw him last week.
Yep.
Keller's kick, touchback. And with Maurice Turner not expected to play today, he is in uniform, but they don't expect to be able to use him or to want to use him. So you'll see a lot more Jordan, and we've seen Isaac Guerendo as well. Maybe see some of Kewan Brown in the second half. See some of the depth of this Louisville running back room, but that's the bell cow right there, 25.
Yep. In these types of runs, right, it's good for stats and all that, right? But what it does is it gives confidence to the rest of the team that, hey, at any point we could hand it to 25 and he could be gone. And what that does in an offensive line room, it motivates them. Say, hey, let's block a little bit longer. In the wide receiver room, say, hey, let's get to the second level. Let my block be the block that gets our guy going.
Kywan Morgan for 2 yards. Sorry about that, Mark.
Just saying, good showing by Jawhar Jordan.
Williams will keep. Flag down as he gets to the next level, but brought down on the play after a gain of 5. Got to think this is coming back.
Holding. Offense, number 67. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Marcus Woods has been a busy man tonight. A lot of penalties.
Jacob Fry, 32 straight starts for Murray State. Leads a offensive line front that had 39 combined O-line starts last year coming back. Big boys up front. Go 330, 323, 315. Some big guys up front.
They're going to need to use that girth in their new football conference. They go from the Ohio Valley to the Missouri Valley. Look at the teams in that conference. As far as FCS football goes, South Dakota State defending national champs. Yep. North Dakota State, perennial powerhouse. Yep. Throw in North Dakota, they're ranked this last week. Youngstown State's ranked. Yep. Northern Iowa's ranked in the FCS polls. That is a brutal conference.
Yeah, it's wild, right? You know, you talk about the 2 Dakotas, right? North Dakota and South Dakota State. You're like, wow, that's enough right there. Then you throw in all the rest of them.
Every week is going to be a challenge for Murray State, but I think you like that. You welcome that challenge. You're stepping up in terms of conference play now to play in what I think is the cream of the crop in the FCS.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely is. And you know, hopefully it brings – you know, brings more. It brings better recruits to Murray State. It brings, you know, other coaches, and, you know, just it elevates the entire program. I think that's the hope.
Second down and long. Trying to get Belfry on the outside. He does a bit. Tripped up before he got right back to the original line of scrimmage. That was Quincy Riley on the edge. Now Markham just shy of the 25, so it's 3rd and 11.
And there really haven't been too much in the way of intermediate passing game for Murray State. It's been these short swing passes, or they've tried to go deep.
With limited success. Timeout once again for Louisville, trying to get the ball back. One final offensive possession. Saturday morning, a special time, 10 a.m. Eastern.
The week seemed like they were in every city that there was a football game for the ACC. You know, EJ probably was happy to get home to the baby. Same with Eric.
EJ will probably be happy to be back down in Tallahassee.
Oh, yeah.
3rd and 11. Williams to throw, flushed. Gets a chance to set his feet. Can he find an open receiver? He does, but Bell can't come down with it.
Just a little bit too high.
Devin Neal defending on the play, the transfer from Baylor.
And again, good job by DJ getting outside of the pocket. He gave himself a chance to make that throw. You see the cannon.
See the Murray State bench too. They wanted a late hit on a defenseless receiver as Bell took a shot but didn't get the call.
Good no call, I think.
Yeah, probably appropriate. Phillips. Picked up by Coleman. He'll be dropped at the 27. Flag comes in towards the end of the play. They get a push in the back here against Louisville. It's confirmed, though. Jack Plummer comes back on the field. Waiting word from Marcus Woods.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team, number 22. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That'll push the Cards back even further with just 1:20 to play. A lot of explosive plays in this first half for that man's club.
Yeah, they sure have been. When you take a look at all those plays, 30-yard reception, 32-yard reception, 38-yard rush, 73-yard reception. You see Jamari Thrash and Jawhar Jordan are all over that board. These guys are some playmakers.
Let's see what Louisville wants to do here. A minute 20 left to go in the half, and just one timeout on the board, and another flag.
False start. Offense, number 0. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, the word I heard from both Broms this week, Mark, both Jeff and Brian, the offensive coordinator, was sharp. We got to be sharp. We got to be sharper. And these penalties right here, now we just have back-to-back penalties. Pushing the back and false start. You hope to get something in the final minute and a half of this first half, and now you're at your own 5.
Yeah, not sharp. And, right now, where they are up 28 points, it's not going to kill you. However, once you get into ACC play, as we saw against Georgia Tech, like these things snowball and they spiral. And if you don't nip them in the bud early, they can become issues throughout the season for your team. Good hit.
Guerendo met in that hole. Jason Coley, along with Cade Shepard.
Tell you what, Guerendo's a big back. He got smacked and he kept moving forward.
Third down. Pressure comes. Nice job of getting the ball out. Plummer getting it to his receiver. That was Guerendo out of the backfield. And he did a nice job to get that first down. Otherwise, they were going to have to punt the ball.
Yep. I like what Jeff Brom's doing here. He's working a 2-minute drill with his offense. And very easy to just take a knee at that point backed up, but
going to go deep. Trying to get with Thrash again. Tangled up with the defender and no flag. Marco Collins defending on the play.
Yeah. That would have been another one to add to that list. Big plays. Marco Collins got lucky on that one.
Got a hand on Thrash, but I think the official said that's not what caused Thrash to go down. Now the screen. Guerendo in open field to the 40. Nice running out to the 46. St. McGee finally brought him down. Nice job after the catch.
But
Guerendo.
You know what? Illegal formation on the offense. And they're going to have to take a timeout to nullify the runoff.
Yeah, Brom knows it. I think the hope was maybe he could save that timeout. If you get one big play here, try a long field goal.
Yep.
He thinks Travelstead might be able to kick a 55-yarder at the end of the half or a game.
False start. Offense. Not all 11 players got set. Louisville is choosing to use a timeout to avoid the 10-second subtraction.
And even if they were all set, they had too many guys in the line of scrimmage. You think Jeff Brom doesn't like scoring points? 8 seconds left. Up 28-0.
This is going to be a tough one here because you're going to have to go out of bounds. Because even if you get the first down, will stop the clock, but only temporarily. And this play is going to take 6 or 7 seconds anyways. You're not going to be able to spike it with 1 second. You're going to have to get it out of bounds.
Yeah, you got to get out of bounds. I would see them probably running a short route to try to get it to the sideline if they want to go for a Hail Mary. I think this is probably a little bit too far for Jack Plummer to get one in the end zone.
There it is. Guerendo is going to have to get out of bounds and shake a tackler. He shook the tackler, and he did just get out of bounds with 1 second left. Only gained 4 yards on the play, so I don't know if that's going to help Plummer much. We'll see that arm strength here, that's for sure.
Yeah, and this is one of the situations where, hey, we've worked on our Hail Mary play all week, every week, and this is an opportunity to see what we can do with it. See number 84, Joey Gatewood, the 6'4", 250-pound tight end come in the game.
Plummer steps up, throws it underneath, hoping to get something big after the catch. Guerendo lowers his shoulder, and the clock will wind down. There's stat stuff for that time for Isaac Guerendo to end the half. Do we have a flag down? Let's see. I think we might have one. Before we go, let's make sure we don't have to extend with an untimed down. And our referee, Marcus Woods, is coming over to have a word with Coach Brom.
Substitution infraction. Defense. 1 of 11 players on the field. 5-yard penalty. 1 untimed down.
I mean, if you go for another Hail Mary, Dean Hood's over there on the sideline be like, what is happening? This guy's throwing Hail Marys up 28 points.
So now they take the penalty. It'll be 5 yards from the original line of scrimmage. So they'll mark it at their own 49.
There's Dean Hood like, all right, yeah, we get to work on our prevent defense.
So we may see another play, a replay of what we just saw, or will Plummer opt to go to the end zone?
Same formation.
Racers bring just 3. Same exact spot. Now Plummer's going to hurl it to the end zone. And it's intercepted.
Watch them return this for a touchdown.
That's Reed. He's got blockers in front of him.
Pitch it. Pitch it.
And he'll be brought down at the 37. All that activity, and it ends up leading to nothing. Jack Plummer leading the Cardinals to a 28-0 halftime score. Let's send it to Kelsey Riggs and the crew in our ACC.
After this game and then get into normal work weeks going forward.
Playing Indiana and Indianapolis too, so even that won't be really normal.
Yeah.
James London kicks off. And a roll out of the back of the end zone. Chris Goddard, Mark Herzig with you.
Plays back to back to back. You see this Thrash on the reverse for the touchdown run. And then here's Thrash with a long 70-plus yard reception. And Jawhar Jordan, 4 rushes, 113 yards, a touchdown. He's averaging 28 yards a carry. He has had a phenomenal night. These 2 are big plays waiting to happen.
See if he can get another one here. Flags all over the place. As Jordan does get free in the secondary. He'll score.
Jeez.
"75 yards on the first play of the second half." We'll check the markers as they came in from every possible direction. Even if it doesn't count, the explosiveness from 25 on full display.
Number 61.
It's coming back.
Penalty. First down.
He's got that big old mouth guard hanging from his face mask. He doesn't even need to wear it. It's not getting touched. See if we can see where the hold is. Looks like right there on number 3.
Both shoulder pads.
Yeah, and on 33. There's
That's why so many
decent
flags
amount of
came
holding
in.
there.
And Brom's unhappy with it.
Well,
I mean, he is a competitor. I feel like he would be unhappy with any call that goes against him. That was pretty obvious.
see him getting his composure so he can call in the play. With 18 seconds left in the clock, the players are out there like, come on, coach. Look, he's still arguing with the ref.
Isaac Guerendo now in the tailback. Play clock at 5. Little push pass. Lamari Huggins-Bruce behind the line of scrimmage. He gets brought down. Nick Walker. Another TFL.
Threw the L's down after that play.
Walker had a couple of TFLs last week, a couple so far this week.
Yeah, and good job reading his keys. You see how he extended with the tight end who widened. Just, yeah, really, really good job. Good linebacker play. L's down.
I don't know about that when you're down 28-0. Jordan back in the game. Second down and forever. Plummer will look to throw. Near side, hits his big wide out. Ball down, incomplete. Chris Bell was the intended receiver. Sherry Burris down on the field. What do you got for us?
Well, talking to Coach Braun coming out of the half, he said what he liked most was how sound his defense was. But the offense was really up and down, and we can see that, again, that penalty negating a touchdown. Then I asked what his message was coming into the half, and he is still challenging his guys despite being up 28-0. He says, think of this game like it's 0-0 now. If not, you're just wasting our time. Chris?
He was definitely thinking the game was 0-0 at the end of the first half. A couple of Hail Marys. Playing right to the very end. Another flag comes down as Callaway makes a great move. Couple of great moves after the catch to pick up the first down, but again, we got to check the marker behind the play.
Holding. Offense. Number 68. 10-yard penalty. Third down.
Michael Gonzalez, the guilty party. Let's see if we can see 68 in black and where the infraction took place.
There he is at the top of the screen. You see that jersey being held. It'll be enforced from the spot of the foul.
So let's see, where are they going to mark it? Right at the 20? Looks that way. Yep. Gains of 26 yards and 75 yards negated on holding calls. Proper calls on this drive. So again, Plummer on third down. Trying to set up a screen to Jordan. Gets it into his hands. He's tracked down from behind. No short of the marker to gain. Good job by Jafet Mabenga. Tracking down that play from behind.
And disappointing start. You know, you get those two big plays and they come back. The result is you're giving the ball to the other team. You know, I think those are the types of things that get cleaned up and it's reminders, right? There's no need for holding 10 yards downfield. You already have a successful play. Ooh, and another.
More flags down as Travelstead's punt is not great, but it gets a Cardinal roll.
Ooh, it might have hit.
No one was yelling fire on that play.
I think it hit the Murray State player.
Well, that's what the Cardinals down there are saying, but our officials don't look like they're making any indication that that's the case.
And Louisville's not pleading their case too hard either. Probably because they know there's a flag.
A slow start to the second half, Mark.
There are fouls by both teams on the play. Illegal formation, offense. Illegal formation, defense. Lined up over the snapper. The foul's offset. Replay fourth down.
So we'll replay the fourth down. Travelstead will get an opportunity for a better punt. I don't know who's going to lose their voice first, Brom or our referee Marcus Woods, because he's talking a lot tonight.
Yeah, let's check. Look how close that gets to nicking off. It looks like it hits his toe.
It's really close. I don't know if it hit him or not, but that is close. Tough to see on that replay.
Yeah.
That's where the returner, Michael Fox, has got to be yelling what? What did you yell when you were with the Giants?
Peter. Peter. Peter.
What does that even mean?
It means Peter. Maybe it's dopey that guy named Peter gets called out.
Some dude named Peter kept getting hit in the back with the punt.
Yeah, that's one of those ones. And I've asked coaches before, right? I spent enough time in special teams rooms. I've asked coaches, what does that mean? They're like, don't worry about what it means. Just get away from the ball. And that's probably where it came from.
We'll do it all over again. It's only 4th and 4 here.
Yeah. And to clarify, illegal formation on the defense, there was a player who lined up over top of the center, which you can't, or the long snapper, which you cannot do.
Travelstead, this is a much better punt. Fox will take it from his 18, call a fair catch, and that's where the Racers will take over.
Yep.
So it's unfortunate that's a Blythe on his stats on the night. Morgan straight up the middle. Good run on first down.
Yeah, and that's the issue, right? You know, I think all the things, right, that are happening in this game, there's a lot of good that Louisville's doing, but the biggest concern that I would have if I was a Louisville fan or on the Louisville coaching staff is why are we not stopping the run? How can we not stop the run here? We didn't stop the run versus Georgia Tech. and that's got to get cleaned up. It really does.
DJ Williams coming back out.
Move over to that odd front. And still just, giving up 6-7 yards on first down carries. You can't have that.
You look at this front for Louisville, the starters. Herron, 240 at defensive end. Gelati, 270 at the other D end. Des Telson, 290. Purrier, 270. I mean, you mentioned it earlier. This is an offensive line for the Racers that is 300 plus, 310, 320 plus across the board.
Yeah, and that's given Louisville issues in the past, especially in the rivalry against Kentucky. Kentucky continuously comes in with these big offensive lines, and I know obviously not in the ACC, but Louisville fans, they want to beat Kentucky. You got to play more stout up front, and if you are smaller up front, you got to be able to shoot these lanes. Got to get upfield and create these havoc plays in the backfield, which Louisville just hasn't been able to do over the first 2 games.
DJ Williams with just his 6th pass completion of the day. That was a beauty. Hit the transfer from Louisiana, Golden Eke. Another first down. He'll look to throw again. Caught again. This is a nice drive the Racers are putting together here. This time it's Jacob Bell on the receiving end.
It is a nice drive, and Louisville hasn't subbed out starters. They got their starters in the game still right now. It's a good drive by Ben Hodges' offense.
Williams with a lot of confidence on this drive. A couple of strikes in a row. Nothing doing on that play. They'll lose 2 yards.
DJ Williams. It was an option for the quarterback to pull that football.
He knows it. Yeah, look at him.
If he had pulled that football, he was gone.
Well, it certainly would have been a good test of his post-knee injury speed.
And watch right here. Look at that block by the tight end on the outside, and then that collapse of the defensive end. That could have been a pull for a big gain.
Already the deepest intrusion into Louisville territory tonight for this Racer offense. Fumble. Ball still on the ground. Cardinals got it.
And there it is. Big play on defense.
Devin Neal picked up the fumble.
And that's a drive that it ends up being okay for Louisville defense, but there's going to be a lot of discussion on the sideline. This one's given.
Cardinal defense thwarts another opportunity for the Racers. Shutout still intact. 28-0, Cards on top.
And Cardinal legend, you had your number 29 jersey honored tonight. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot to me. Back in those days, the program wasn't what it is now. So I'm very, very honored with that. And I had some great coaches. I had Bob Weber, then I finished up with Howard Snellenberger. So you can't get better than those two.
Shutout game so far here. What have you made of what the Cardinals were able to do?
The Cardinals, they're hanging on. They're doing real well. They're very, very impressive. But you got to continue to do it each and every week, and then see how you do in the end.
Homecoming of Jeff Brom as head coach. Where do you see this program going and the steps that they're taking to be one of those top-tier programs in the country?
Yeah, this program, well, back in the days was struggling, but this program now is up there probably with the top 20 programs in the nation. They have to get a couple more wins and everything, but other than that, it's first class all the way around the board.
I really appreciate the time, Ernest. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Chris?
Now, obviously, Ernest would have been very pleased with that pitching catch. Jamari Huggins-Bruce.
Yeah.
We talk about a lot of the transfers in this receiving core. Huggins-Bruce is a holdover. He's got a lot to prove this year as we see Ernest Gibbons' number. He was prolific in the mid-'80s when passing was still in its infancy, really, as an offense in college football, and he was here with his whole family. All the teams he played for in the NFL. We had Oilers jerseys, Browns jerseys, I think we had in there. Great in that run and shoot offense with the Oilers in the NFL.
It's great to see old players back in the program. I think Jeff Brom, that was one of his initiatives coming back here is getting a lot more alumni involvement with games, with the team. You know, the coaching staff is littered with former players.
Plummer looking to run for the second time on this drive.
Yeah, and shaking his head a little bit. He did get hit very hard up top on that long run earlier. And watch Jack at the end of this play. Just watch how he gets up and shakes his head right there.
Right.
You just got to be careful at this point in the game calling design quarterback runs.
Jordan up the middle. Elusive. Inside the 5. Still on his feet to the goal line.
Yeah, I'm never calling a design quarterback run if I have Jawhar Jordan in my backfield. Wow.
Cody Goldie shaking up on the play for the Racers.
And good push up front. You see 68, Michael Gonzalez, getting that push and bringing his running back all the way into the end zone.
I think back to his days at Syracuse when he began his college career. He was really that prototypical third down back. He's still only 185 pounds, but he showed his power on that run. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. 28-0, Cards on top.
Charlotte Hyundai is bigger, better, and ready to serve you. Stop by our Stable Espanol.
A very impressive Florida State ACC huddle throughout the day. Check it out. First and goal. Jordan gonna get the call. Slams his way in and into the end zone. An impressive evening, got even more so on that carry for Jawhar Jordan.
Heck of a night for Jawhar Jordan. You see how explosive this Louisville offense can be.
Gotta wonder how much of the playbook is really in play with so many new players. And then the tight end, he really doesn't have any experienced tight ends. I mean, he brought in Joey Gatewood, who was a quarterback at UCF. Jamari Johnson, who's a freshman who only played tight end his senior year of high school. It's like, you kind of feel like there's so many wrinkles he can bring in as the games and as the years progress.
Yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right. And we've only seen tight ends used in the run game and as kind of decoy routes so far this entire season for Louisville. That's an area they want to develop as they lost Marshawn Ford last year,
right,
who was one of the best tight ends ever to play at Louisville. He declared for the NFL draft. And
Josh Lifson is still here. But
yep. But, you know, Isaac Martin, Francis Sherman,
Shermanator,
Des Melton, you know, all those guys are no longer here.
We've got 3 offensive linemen that came back from last year, and Gonzalez, Hudson, and they move Renato Brown to guard.
Yep.
But then you bring in 2 new tackles that transferred in.
Yep, bringing in Eric Miller from Purdue at the right tackle, then Willie Tyler from Rutgers to the left tackle, and John Paul Flores as kind of that 5th guy or 6th guy in from Virginia. Yeah, I mean, you know, they went out on the recruiting trail for sure, and you know, they rebuilt the wide receiving room, they rebuilt the O-line room. Just didn't get the tight ends yet. But they do have some young guys that they're excited to develop.
Right, just have not developed yet. Got Jack Plummer, a new quarterback as well. We've got a new quarterback for the Racers. Eric Phoenix. Strong arm, young man, came in, junior college ranks, Savannah, Georgia.
They call him E7. Probably from Eric and his number would be my guess.
That's a good guess.
You like that? That's BC education right there.
Deductive reasoning skills. You're at mid-season form.
Yeah, I know.
Williams did some good things to start. Let's see what Phoenix can do. This was planned all along. They played 2 quarterbacks in their opening win against Presbyterian, and we see 2 here. Here comes Jones. Once again, on first down, a good run by this Racer offense.
Yeah. It's not just miscues by Louisville in the run game. This Racer offense, I mean, they're doing a good job of getting on blocks, getting to the second level. Been impressed with Cortez Jones and his ability to catch the ball in the backfield, run the ball, pass block.
Haven't seen Juwan Northington tonight. No. He's the one tailback for Murray State that we haven't seen. He ran for 40 yards on 11 carries last week against Presbyterian. Give on the end around. That's Isaiah Hill. He's able to get right to the marker. They'll move the stick, so a first down.
Yeah, and Eric Phoenix, the quarterback, you mentioned he transferred in from Benedict College, where he led Benedict to an SAIC conference championship last year. Over 2,000 passing yards, 15 touchdowns. So he has experience, but you see him reading that playoff on his belt, new to this system.
Threw for 121 yards and a touchdown last week. Continuing on the ground, flags come down. That's usually a hold when the judge, or when the umpire, I should say, throws that flag.
Holding. Offense, number 77, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Henry Kafowo. So the Racers will back up 10 yards.
Kafowo, the only new starter on this offensive line for the Racers.
He's 336.
6'2", 336.
From Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Compact.
First and 20. Timeout, Murray State. Coach Hood didn't like what he saw on that play, wants to talk things over. We'll take one with him. 5:30 for the Cardinals, looking to go 2-0 on the year. Phoenix, the lefty, going to go downfield. Has a receiver, that's Jacob Bell, open inside Cardinal territory, and he dropped it. And it might have been picked. No, dropped. Close to being intercepted by Cam Kelly. He thinks he got it. But Jacob Bell he must be the sickest man on earth. That thing was right in his breadbasket.
And let's check. Let's see.
No, sir.
Ground. Cameron Kelly pled his case. But also, I feel like that's like the third time that there's been a Racer wide receiver
racing downfield unencumbered.
Yeah, like how are you behind the deepest guy on the defense?
Nice pass by Phoenix that time. Now rolling the opposite way. Again, left-hander. Now he's looking to go downfield and just throws. This one doesn't throw it away. It's intercepted. Devin Neal shows some ball skills. And Phoenix with a big mistake by not chucking that one into the 10th row. If you're going to throw it away, you got to really throw it away.
Devin Neal, one of the transfers, came from Baylor. He played 33 games over 3 years at Baylor. Recipient of a gift here. They really revamped the safety room as well. Cameron Kelly transferred from UNC via UVA, where he only played in the spring game and then decided he wanted to come to Louisville. And Devin Neal, we've mentioned, from Baylor.
And Josh Minkins hurt tonight, not playing, so see more of that depth. New quarterback in for the Cardinals. Brock Doman hands it off to Isaac Guerendo. You and I saw Doman a number of times last year in the game at Virginia. when Cunningham was hurt, and then the bowl game, played outstanding football.
He really did. 3-1 as a starter. Did a good job.
Racers bring pressure. Doesn't affect Doman. Hits 83 on the catch. Now in Houston getting some run.
Yeah, and Brock's more of a runner than Plummer is, and it's kind of like a lower your shoulder, run you over type quarterback.
Guerendo's a lower his shoulder, run you over type running back. Gets 7 yards on first down.
Nice transition there, Chris.
Thanks. Guerendo again. This time he'll be dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Racers with nice flow. Malachi Williams on the tackle. Third down and a long 6. Doman to throw. Has time, has a receiver. Looks like just shy of that yard marker to gain. Houston again on the catch. That name sounds familiar, by the way. Looks familiar, too. That's former New York Knick, Allen Houston's son. Looks like it. Came from Brown, transferred in from Brown. Has the eyes.
And the brains.
If he went to Brown, no question. 4th down and 2. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage, still might have been caught, and it was. And right at the first down marker. And they're going to pick up the first down.
How about that concentration, catching the football?
Chris Bell ended up with it.
And not even close to the receiver that Doman was throwing it to.
Nick Walker, who's played a heck of a game tonight for the Racers with a tip ball, but when things are going your way, as they are right now for the Cardinals, and Guerendo's still on his feet. That's a good run. 7 yards on first down for Guerendo.
You gotta love the effort of these two running backs. Jawhar Jordan and Guerendo, they've consistently broken out of the first tackles, extended plays, and impressive job blocking by the offensive line. I mean, big takeaway from offense. Yes, the big plays, but the consistency in the run game has been phenomenal for Louisville.
Doman again to throw. Flush for the pocket, finds a receiver downfield, flags down. That's Guerendo. Takes several racers to bring him down. Let's check the marker.
There is no foul for defensive holding. Result of the play is the first down.
Our referee Marcus Woods and his staff will pick up the flag, 11 yards. Nice job by Doman, just getting out of the pocket mark and finding a receiver, checking down.
Yeah, this is what we saw from him last year in those times where he did get those starts when Malik Cunningham was injured. Just the ability to move the ball downfield, handle this offense with confidence.
Huggins Bruce has the end zone in his sights, and he hits Pater.
Huggins Bruce, their sure-handed slot receiver, had a first half fumble last week, and good to see him bounce back. a rare fumble, usually a sure-handed guy, reliable player.
Nick Lopez with the PAT. We talk a lot about this receiving core. I think in many ways they're like the all chip on your shoulder receiving core. You think about it. Thrash wants to prove he can do it at the Power 5 level. Callaway wants to prove he can do it because he maybe feels like he wasn't given a shot at Tennessee. He didn't play a whole lot there. Coleman, coming from an HBCU, Jackson State, wants to show he could do it at a Power 5 level. Huggins Bruce wants to prove that, hey, everyone's talking about all these transfers. I'm still here. I'm still the guy in his mind.
Yep.
So I think there's a lot of players there. When Jaden Thompson gets healthy, same thing from Cincinnati.
Yep.
These guys have something to prove.
And a lot of guys with an opportunity to step up, right? You know, it was Tyler Hudson. It was the Tyler Hudson show last year. And, you know, Tyler Hudson, you know, moves on, and there's opportunities for guys, right? And Jamari Thrash, week 1, and then obviously this week, have been the guy, but you know, at this point in the game, other guys have a chance to step up, and Jamari Huggins Bruce has done that.
Domon clearly working out at a gym other than the Cardinals football facility, because he's doing a lot of tricep pushdowns and curls. And as you know, at a football gym, they don't have any cables or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team number 94. Ball be placed on the 35-yard line.
Second time tonight a kick has gone out of bounds for the Cardinals. They'll work on that this week. Here's a good look at Jack Plummer. Last week's numbers versus this week.
Yep. Obviously less opportunities, but pretty similar. Some of those touchdowns that aren't on the board are more of the handoffs to the wide receivers, and obviously they've scored on the ground more, but yardage about the same. Completion percentage a little bit better tonight, right at 73%.
Showing his ability to run a little bit too. I think that's an underrated part of his game. Brian Brom talked about that this week, how he can definitely get out there and run if he has to. Flag down. No, but fumble. And it looks like the Cardinals will have it. Yes, fumble underneath that pile. Cards defense comes out of there with it. TJ Quinn. TJ Quinn's been all over the field today too. He's a name we've called about a dozen times on this Cardinal defense.
He has, and you know, TJ Quinn, he's a guy that Jeff Brom knows well. Jeff Brom actually played with TJ Quinn's father, Terry, who was a running back and defensive back at Louisville. Back when you could go both ways. Impressive player. And
somewhere in there, that ball came loose, and Quinn comes out of there with it. There's no way they could review that either, because there's no way you could see that ball coming out.
No.
The officials were right on top of it, though, and very little argument from the Murray State players. Evan Conley now in at quarterback for the Cardinals. This veteran from the Atlanta area. There was a time when you wondered whether Conley or Malik Cunningham was going to be the starter. This is going back about 4 years here. They were in a quarterback competition. They are reviewing that last fumble, by the way. So we'll take as many looks as we can to see if we can see where the ball came out. It was Kadarius Jennings who was the ball carrier. Now let's see if we can see it coming out here. No, I can't see it there. Can you?
No, but look at Quinn too. He doesn't see it yet. Now he does.
Now that thing is bouncing around in there, and he picks it up. The umpire, Danny Worrell, came in pretty quickly, and it looked like he saw it and signaled that it was Cardinal ball in a hurry. Our replay official, Keith Roden, conversing with Marcus Woods. Keith stopped by the booth to say hello to us before the game. Former umpire himself on the field. I made a terrible error too in that conversation when I said Mark doesn't like umpires, and I was wrong about that. You like umpires, you just don't like where college umpires line up on the field.
Yeah, it's more the positioning. It has nothing to do with the people. They're great people. Right. They're fantastic. They'll a lot of times apologize to you if they get in your way or something like that.
But
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down and 10, Louisville.
the fumble stands. In college, the umpires stand right next to you as a linebacker. In
Yep.
pro, they're on the other side.
Yep, they're behind the offense, and there's times where it's beneficial. They can get better calls, but as a linebacker, you just like, hey, this is my space.
They help you sometimes, though, as we've seen tonight.
Yep.
A couple of times.
I know.
So maybe it evens out.
Well, that's frustrating for the offense.
Kewan Brown in the game as Conley gets running room up the middle down to the 16.
How about Conley? Right? And you mentioned Conley, and how, he's been here for a long time. I remember back in 2019 when they were playing Wake at Wake, and he came off the bench and had a 41-yard touchdown run on 4th and 1 in the 4th quarter to ice that game. I remember that, and it was like, oh, this guy's a good player and he's still here doing his thing.
Brown showing speed on the edge and lowers his shoulder and stays on his feet out of bounds at the 3. More tough running from Cardinal running backs.
We mentioned Tywin Evans gone. Jalen Mitchell was another back last year, a bigger pounder back. Guerendo has kind of stepped into that spot. And
Brown getting congratulatory tabs. All Cardinals tonight. Blackout crowd enjoying every minute of it. 4th quarter on the way. To give to Brown. Trying to muscle his way in, and he does. Kewan Brown adds to the Cardinal advantage.
it's just hard running. Good push by the offensive line, but that was on Brown. That was a will to get in the end zone.
That's something that'll be brought up this week, isn't it? I mean, you talk about a 3rd string running back, really 4th string if Turner were healthy tonight, getting in the game and having that type of an effort play, and you see the congratulations he's getting on that Louisville sideline.
Yeah, and those are types of plays, like those runs right there, they earn you jobs, right? They earn you that nod of, hey, I know I can trust this guy. First of all, not to turn the ball over, and second of all, to gain those big yards. And running back is a tough position. You get hit, you get pounded, and every team loves having a stable of running backs that can get the job done. And Louisville's finding out that they do have that.
This running backs coach, he has to be extremely pleased tonight. Chris Barclay is running back at Wake Forest.
Yeah,
was actually there when Murray State head coach Dean Hood was the defensive coordinator at Wake Forest.
Yeah, we saw them catching up before the game, and as we were waiting to go over to talk to Dean Hood, and they had a nice long conversation. And
there's Barclay with the visor on.
Yep.
He's got to feel really good about his backs. Last week, this week, he's got explosive backs. He's got backs that can catch the ball to the backfield. He's got power backs. A guy like Guerendo. We saw the power there with Brown. Cardinals are going to improve to 2-0 on the season as we look what they have come.
A tough matchup this week for them.
Armstrong at quarterback.
Yep.
Reunited with his offensive coordinator at Virginia, where they put up tremendous numbers 2 years ago.
And Tony Gibson, defensive coordinator, always has a stout defense there, whose son is actually the tight ends coach for Murray State.
Didn't realize that.
Yep. Long line of coaches. seems to work out that way, Chris, right? Dad's a coach. Sometimes you find that love for the game.
Well, you always talk about, that's one of the things whenever we talk about college players, it's he's this, he's that, he's a coach's son.
Yeah.
That's always a feather in the cap of a college player. There's something about you. Pass close to being absolutely perfect from Phoenix. Just a little bit beyond the reach of Golden Eke. Third down and 12.
No Guns N' Roses in the stadium right now. Never hurts to hear.
No. Stadium is thinned out a little bit here as we get into the fourth quarter on Thursday night.
Has been an impressive playlist, though, in the stadium. Good job to that operator, whoever that is.
Phoenix flushed. Now he's going to run, and he's got a lot of room. Will he get the first down out of bounds? I think he's just going to be a yard shy. 11 yards on the pickup. Jackson Hamilton forced him out of bounds coming over from his linebacker spot. It'll be 2 yards shy. It looks like Coach Hood may keep his offense out there. And now Eric Phoenix wants to call a timeout, talk things over with Coach Hood and the staff. We'll take a break with him. 13:38 left to play in this one. Cards up big here in Louisville. That's when she bought half the store at Bass Pro Shops.
Yes, I remember that very well.
For a rainy game we had here a few years ago. Kelsey will be in studio tonight and all weekend long. That could be a late hit. Yep, that's going to draw a flag. Mari Huggins-Bruce on the return. Had a little late pop. Teammates making sure he finds his way to the sideline for no further malfeasance.
There is no foul on the play for late hit.
Pick that one up.
It was definitely late, and it was definitely a hit, but it might not have been vicious enough. Oh, but the throwing the football at the guy afterwards. I mean, to me right there, that's a late hit. So, probably no effect on this game.
Harrison Bailey in now for the Cardinals, transfer from UNLV. Brown on the carry. Ooh. I mean, this is a guy who wants to make the most of his touches. He doesn't care if it's a 49-0 game.
He does not. You see some of that speed, too. We saw the power earlier. The speed.
Player down. Player down for the Racers.
No, that's not what you want to see. It's like Donovan McBride, sophomore nose guard, got rolled up on.
Grand Valley State transfer. We'll check on the Murray State Racers condition when we come back. 49. The Racers, he was able to get up and walk off. Looked like he was favoring his right leg. There he is. Teammates helping him over to the bench. Sherry, what can you add on this injury?
Well, watching him now, guys, I can see in the 10 he is emotional. As you mentioned, he had to get helped off the field. Kind of looked like he got rolled up on that right ankle, and right now that looks like that is what is bothering him, that right ankle.
Yeah, it's a shame here in the fourth quarter of a game that's out of reach. Get rolled up on like that. Redshirt freshman at Buford, Georgia. It's a football powerhouse in suburban Atlanta. Hope for the best for Jafet Mabenga. Harrison Bailey, 6'5", 230 pounds, coming to Louisville from UNLV. Ooh, a fumble on the snap. Bailey will fall on. And think about the experience at the quarterback room.
I know.
I mean, you've got guys like Plummer, obviously. He's played at Purdue and played at Cal a number of years. Domons, we mentioned the starting experience last year, and he's been all over the place in terms of junior colleges and whatnot. And Harrison Bailey from UNLV. You got Evan Conley, who has played a lot of snaps over the years here in a backup role in Louisville.
And just looking now, Evan Conley and Harrison Bailey, both are from Marietta, Georgia.
Bailey is able to hit his receiver Houston out in the flat, 6 yards on the completion. Fourth down and 1. The offense will stay on the field. Brown shrugs off the first tackle attempt, picks up 4 and a first down. Cardinals I get a feeling they're going to roll up some rushing yardage here in this fourth quarter.
I think so.
Those totals are going to go shooting through the roof. I'm sure Brown is probably thinking, we already got a touchdown on the night. I might be able to rack up a 100-yard game.
I feel like Brown wants to throw it, though, so
He does.
badly. So badly.
Guitarist Hicks, true freshman out of Miami, on the catch. You almost see some of this depth in this receiving room. You already saw Allen Houston a few times. Guitarist Hicks out of Miami. Louisville has always had a pipeline to Florida. And they get a lot of cats from that part of the country. Jawhar Jordan's had a big night. Big offensive lineman Michael Gonzalez putting his arm around him. That's how we do. Receiver open down the field. And Joey Gatewood, we talked about him, one of the new tight ends on this team. Former quarterback was thinking, if only I was throwing that ball to me.
Yeah.
As Bailey just overthrows him. He was wide open, too.
Yeah, he was wide open. The miss on the throw. Good somersault.
Could have been like Mr. Wonderful in that WWE promo when he threw the touchdown pass to himself. Brown. Inside the 35.
Another good tackle by Nick Walker. I mean, Cody Goatley, we saw him earlier in the game. We haven't seen him come back after that injury, but him and Nick Walker, two inside linebackers for this Murray State team, I've been impressed with their play. It's a good look at him right there, Nick Walker.
Yeah, he's been all over the field tonight.
He almost didn't play football in college. He loved baseball so much, and he said he had like an epiphany during the pandemic when he was sitting at home like, you know what, I think I love football.
Yeah.
I think it's football. And just was like, okay, it's going to be football, and decided to walk on at Murray State. And he's a guy who stands out, right? He stands out in the way he plays football, the way he can read the plays, gets downhill, and coming from a former linebacker, I can appreciate good linebacker play, and he definitely is a good linebacker.
Murray State at Middle Tennessee State. Saturday after this upcoming Saturday. Then Indiana State. Then they go headlong in the Missouri Valley Conference play. Receiver over the middle. That's complete to Gatewood. Cuts inside and scores. There you go, Gatewood. Tight end suits him pretty well. What an athlete.
And this was set up, Kewan Brown, we talked about him running the football. He had a phenomenal block on Nick Walker. Watch him step up and take on the linebacker, allowing time for his quarterback to get the ball up. Look at this block at pass pro. That's a solid block, clearing it out of the way, and good reception. And Jeff Brom is waiting for a tight end to emerge, and Joey Gatewood making his case.
Had an injured Murray State racer on the field. He's been able to work his way off. As Harrison Bailey gets a touchdown pass on the night. We'll take a break. Cardinals continue to enjoy their evening, 55-0. $55-0. Louisville on top of Murray State. Nick Lopez to try the PAT. Snap was low, put down, and Lopez kicks it through. Heard Coach Brom talking to Sherry about getting some players some playing time, and a lot of Louisville Cardinals getting involved and making contributions tonight, including that man right there, Joey Gatewood, his first touchdown reception as a member of the Cardinals. Still getting the congratulations of his teammates. Welcome to Louisville. And welcome back to Louisville, Coach Brom. Going to be 2-0 on the season. Got some top 25 votes in the most recent AP poll this last week. May get a few more when next week's poll comes out. All smiles for Jack Plummer. Happy to be back with Coach Brom. Coach Brom's both Jeff and Brian as quarterbacks coach. After a year at Cal where he put up big numbers last year.
Anytime you throw for 3,000 yards in a season, that's pretty impressive.
Check out what we've got on Sunday. If you like Olympic sports, the ACC Network on Sunday is your place. You got field hockey at noon. You got women's soccer at 1:30, and at 3:30, and at 5:30, including Louisville taking on the Wyoming Cowboys. Full day of field hockey and soccer. You see the field hockey stadium they have here? Louisville has amazing facilities. When you drive here to L&N Stadium, you pass baseball. Soccer stadium looks like something out of, La Liga. Great field hockey stadium. Great natatorium.
And the Yum Center, right?
Yum Center, downtown. Great facilities for their athletic association, their programs here at Louisville.
A few years back, we got to go through the football facility, and they got everything in there. They have like bunk bed nap rooms.
Nap rooms. Right, you just go in there and take a nap.
They've got like their
a
hot
game
tub
room. Right.
Has like a waterfall into their hot tub. Tell you what, it's
cool.
It's an arms race in college football.
No question about it.
Then you go to the NFL where the owners have to pay for all those things, and the facilities get limited when you go to the NFL. A lot of these schools are going to have better facilities than your NFL teams.
But there's also, you got to have an arms race there too, because you're wooing the top.
No, you're not. Money woos.
So it doesn't matter the facilities at all.
At all.
If you're Joe Burrow or whatever, and you're like, hey, I'm a free agent now, I'm going to go shop the market.
Yep.
You don't care what the facilities are like.
No.
How much are you paying me? I'm in.
Yep.
I'm not even visiting your facilities.
Right. The only thing that could sway you one way or the other are state income taxes. Right? That's why, Florida teams, you go to Florida.
Yeah.
You go to Tennessee.
It's also why in the NHL and Major League Baseball, Canadian teams have a harder time.
Yep.
You translate those dollars into Canadian dollars. No longer loonies. I don't think they call them loonies anymore. Racers trying to do some good things on the offensive end. I'm sure Coach Hood and his team would like to put some points on the board here before they head back home to Murray. Get a chance to see Kylan Galbraith, number 28 in white, scored a touchdown last week in their big win over the Blue Hose of Presbyterian. There's Coach Hood. Third down and 6. for Eric Phoenix. Phoenix steps up. Has time. Now he tries to loft it up for Bell. No chance on that pass attempt. And it'll bring up 4th and 6.
And overall, Louisville obviously going to be happy about these results. They've had a phenomenal showing on the offensive side of the ball. There have been a couple penalties. That one interception that Jack Plummer threw that probably was not a great throw. I think what they're going to look at this week and going forward is the defensive front, the front 7, stopping the run, setting the edge, and limiting those explosive runs.
One last commercial break from Louisville. It's 56-0 Cards winning big. Back at Louisville, Pierce Clarkson, highly recruited freshman. Stepping in.
Ooh,
oh, he gets a nice
there you go.
round of applause from the fans still here at L&N.
Yeah, people pay attention to the recruiting process here in Louisville. True freshman from St. John Bosco out in California.
Moore, Brown gets 9 yards. Six combined quarterbacks playing in our game tonight. Clarkson the 4th for the Cardinals. Brown picks up enough, and Moore still on his feet, man. He is running hard tonight.
He is. Played a complete game. Running hard, blocking well.
Would love to see
I feel
Clarkson.
like that we've seen more. We've seen 7, right?
Have we?
Jack Plummer, Evan Conley, Brock Doman, Harrison
Yes,
Bailey.
this is the 5th quarterback for Louisville.
Pierce Clarkson.
Yes.
They do have Brady Allen on their roster.
So we may see him too.
Yep, transfer from Purdue.
William Foles on the receiving end. So another freshman out of Florida. You got Foles and Hicks are 2 freshman receivers out of Florida. They're excited. So 1 freshman quarterback to a freshman receiver.
There are all those quarterbacks right there. What's a pack of Cardinals called, Chris? You know that?
A flock,
A flock?
I would imagine.
I'm sure there's a cooler name than that.
I'm sure the fans here at Louisville would love to see Clarkson light it up through the air. I, for one, would love to see him hand off left and hand off right for the next 6 minutes.
Fun fact, a group of Cardinals can be called a college, a conclave,
so?
a deque, a radiance, or a Vatican of Cardinals.
Oh, we've had a Vatican of Cardinals
Cardinal quarterbacks.
taking snaps here tonight. Check out our weekend forecast at the top of your screen. 11 a.m. That's awesome because you're waiting on that noon game to start. And you don't have to. An hour before everybody else kicks, you get an SEC ACC matchup with Vandy and Wake. And Kelsey and the crew love it too because they get to break for brunch.
Yes.
11 o'clock. They can head to the ESPN cafeteria and indulge. 3rd down for the Cardinals. Clock ticking, 5.5 left to go tonight. We'll get the extended week next week before going to Indianapolis to play an interesting game against Indiana. Well, offensively, couldn't do much against that Ohio State defense in week 1. What a big hit, and the quarterback, Clarkson, takes it, absorbs it, and rolls forward for a couple of yards. Kevin Emanuel lowered the boom. Oof. There you go. That's 4 tough yards right there from the QB. do have a Cardinal down, and this is the absolute last thing you want to see if you're Coach Brom and this Louisville staff is a player hurt in a 56-0 game in the fourth quarter. We'll keep it right here, and that's an offensive lineman looking for a number. Looks like that might be Vincent Lumia, senior from Riviera Beach, Florida, transferring from Duquesne. And he got rolled up on too, right on that left leg. That's where it happened. That's got to be tough.
Yep.
You work all summer long in practice in the heat here in Louisville. Second stringer. You get into a game, and then that happens.
Yeah, and playing well too. I mean, this second string offensive line for Louisville. I mean, they've been clearing some holes.
Yeah, Kewan Brown's been running hard. He's been running hard behind that offensive line. It includes Vincent Lumia. So he'll be helped off. Let's hope that's nothing serious. Now we'll see him back in action in no time. All the quarterbacks sharing their stories.
There's the College of Cardinals quarterbacks. That's fun too, right? When everyone in the quarterback room gets to play.
Yeah.
Film's fun too the next day. You get to highlight some of the players that don't necessarily get to be highlighted in film room.
Two receivers, Jamari Thrash, Jimmy Callaway, talking about the games they've had. Thrash has been, welcome to Louisville. These first two games, he's playing like a first-team All-ACC receiver. 4th down and 3. Cards will go for it and won't get it. Brown stopped short. Racers will take over.
Well, Jawhar Jordan's not going to be sneaking up on anybody anytime soon. He has had a phenomenal couple weeks. And that running back room too. You talk about the quarterbacks getting experience, running backs getting experience.
They have at least 4 players that we've seen tonight, Mark, that could tote it.
Yep.
Jordan and Guerendo. We've really been introduced to Brown here in the second half. As Murray State now, they're trotting out another quarterback, and Jaden Stinson. And then, of course, Maurice Turner at running back for Louisville, who we haven't seen tonight. He was injured. We heard before the game he probably wouldn't play, although he did dress out. So I think in an emergency we could have seen him, but we obviously have not had that tonight. There's Turner. So Jaden Stinson for this team, he was the one who came in relief of DJ Williams after he was injured in the first game last year and finished out the season for the Racers. So like Louisville, Murray State has 3 quarterbacks with experience that Coach Hood and company feel comfortable putting out there.
Look at some of his high school stats. From Mayfield, Kentucky. Had almost 10,000 passing yards in high school and 114 touchdowns. I don't know if I've ever seen that stat. 114 touchdowns in high school. That is a lot of touchdowns.
Right, pass behind Parker Perry. I think about when you were in high school, certainly when I was in high school. I mean, if you passed for 100 yards in a game in high school, that was a lot. You just did not pass the football. Ran the football. We ran the wing T in high school.
No, yep. 9,550 yards passing. We only play like, I mean, I don't know how many games they play out here, but we only play like 10 games.
10 games in the playoffs. Phillips punt. He's tracked down at the 27. He'll mark it at the 26. Mini Troy better watch out for Orion Phillips. You seen those Perel? No, they're not Perel. They're Head and Shoulders commercials.
Yep.
With the Mini Troy Polamalu.
Oh, we got it. We got our 8th quarterback, Brady Allen. Now in
It's almost like you were waiting on that one.
I
Brady
was.
Allen, you were.
I was.
So this is our 8th quarterback to play in this game?
Yes.
Brady Allen.
No, wait. Our 9th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on Louisville.
And 3,
Yep.
yes. 9 quarterbacks. I lost track.
That's got to be a record. It's probably not a record.
Caden Moorman getting some run. Moorman to the outside. He's going to get tracked down by that swarming Racer defense, dropping him for a 3-yard loss.
Oh, here comes 10. I think they just took the headset off of a quarterback on the sideline. Yep, they did. Number 14 is trotting into the game, who was one play ago calling the plays, signaling them in.
And it's Sam Valton. Will they pick up the first down? They will, so they'll move the chains. Valton.
Oh, and now they're setting 18. This is going to be a record-setting game.
That's Sam Young.
For the amount of quarterbacks going in the game.
Sam Young. I'm not sure if Sam Young or the Murray State punter Orion Phillips, who has better hair. Sam Young had that shock of blonde curly hair. You can see it extruding from behind the helmet. He was the one that was signaling the plays in all game long.
Yeah.
Young hands off. Mormon. Inside the 40. 25 yards for Mormon.
Look, here it is right here. You see? Taking the yellow penny off. New quarterback alert, number 17. Is that Sam Young still? Not Sam Young anymore. This is a game. Jackson Hamilton is a linebacker.
That's Travis Egan.
Travis Egan.
Egan hands off. Egan hands off to Mario Egan. Now Egan's coming off. Who's coming on?
Brady Allen.
Yeah, Brady Allen's back in.
Maybe he'll throw a Hail Mary.
I hope that does not happen right now. That would not be a good move.
It would not.
He is going to throw, though. Allen.
Nice ball.
Good pass. Caught by Elijah Downing.
There you
Plummer
go.
Sending in the signals.
I'll tell you what, good for Jeff Brom too, of being intentional enough to get all these guys in, because it was a big deal. taking snaps in a D1 college football game. Big deal.
And that'll do it. Coach Braum wanted to come out and play fast from the beginning. Be sharper than they were in last week's win against Georgia Tech. I think they did that. And the homecoming for Coach Braum. This first game as head coach of the Louisville Cardinals. A successful 56-0. Louisville improves to 2-0.